bounty harvest. But after 7 years, there's going to be a crazy famine. So he asked him, remember I told you he was a guy endowed with wisdom. He asked him, so what are we going to do? Now he tells him, now this is what we are going to do. He comes up with a structure that saves the biggest empire in the world of collecting for every food, for every wheat the Egyptians were collecting in this time of harvest. Was it a tender? Or I think I can give you the details. You can check as you do your editing. You can put the actual thing. It tells for every food you collect, I think bring a third. Was it a third or an eighth or something? To the store, and so he built big stores to save the food, and that's how the world is saved from this famine. And so
Connect now.
that's where I'm coming.
Okay.
It's a long story. I need to connect. That's why, so that for people to understand where this thing is coming and why the Hebrews are yet to understand who they are, okay, and who they are again. When Joseph is there, he becomes the second in command, a very powerful guy, because his wisdom has saved the king. His ability to interpret dreams is amazing. It goes beyond all the wise people of Egypt. And so what do? They create a superpower. The greatest superpower ever known to man was in Egypt, while the Hebrews were the slaves for 400 years.
This was before the pyramids, right?
In fact, historians, I at one time I listened to Ben Carson. He says probably the pyramids were created by the Hebrews.
Okay. So go on.
You can check, You can check.
I think the pyramids were built by Sudanese, but go on.
You know, even Sudan has their pyramids,
But we will go
so
on.
many of them. Yes. So what happens is, the brothers, together with their dad, back in the land, the famine start biting them. But they hear there is a lot of food in Egypt. So the father, Jacob, sends his sons to go to Egypt. If we do not go down to Egypt to get food, we are going to die. So the brothers go to Egypt. They find Joseph. They can't recognize him because now he's wearing like a pharaoh, a prince there. He has become one of them. But he's able to recognize their brothers. You know how the story goes, I'm telling you that to tell you every time the Hebrews sinned against God, they were taken into captivity. And the nations that took them into captivity created superpowers, the greatest of them all. 400 years ago, there was a slave trade in Africa. So they started buying human beings as slaves into Europe and America. The last 400 years of the black people being slaves to the European and to the Americans, we have created superpowers. Does the story look familiar?
It connects.
There's
a pattern.
There is a pattern. I like that one. I like it when you say there is a pattern. Because one time can be a coincidence, it can be a story. But when it repeats itself again and again, is a pattern. So the last 400 years, there has been a prophecy that after 400 years, Africa is going to rise again. The melanin people are going to put all their differences aside, and their consciousness is coming back to them of who they are as a people. Instead of being captured to go and now build superpowers out there, they will build Africa. And they will rule Africa, and not just Africa, but the world. The story is connecting. I told you when the black man is in power and positions of authority in this world, he has no need to colonize Europe. There's nothing Europe can give us. We can only feed them. We can only take care of them. When a black man has the power and the resources, because how we are, naturally, the black people, the melanin people are kind-hearted people. They forgive very fast. They hardly hold any grudges. And sometimes we have paid ultimate prices for this kindness. Okay? Now, very soon, this consciousness about the black people, knowing who they are, because I can tell you from where I am seated, you're more Hebrew than the Zionists. You call yourself a Muslim, but I can tell you, you're more Hebrew than those Zionists. Because they are Europeans, they do not have the story or any story of slavery. It is you as a black person. And so when they started now creating these religions and these patterns and calling us, you are Bantus, you are Cushites, we forgot who we are. But now this collective consciousness is coming back to us. I will stop looking at you as a Muslim and start seeing you as a brother. This is my brother. If you look at the book of Revelation, what it says of who Jesus was, he looks like you, bro. Your hair looks like wool. The color of his skin is explained. You look like him. You look like me. We are brothers. And so very soon we are going to overcome all these obstacles and these divisions. And this is where we shall rule the world. Because we are the real Hebrews. Me, you are Hebrews. Yes. So these Zionists, are Europeans.
Okay.
Same way they created a religion called Catholic in Roman Empire. Some state, I remember I've told you the Roman Empire is a fallen, is the fallen state, the Europeans and the Americans.
Yeah.
They are the fallen Roman Empire. So as they created a religion called Catholic, they created another religion called the England Church. Do you know how it was started?
The England Church? No, I don't.
Let me tell you what happened.
Okay.
It was King Henry the Eighth. Their spiritualism, their religion was Christianity.
Hold up. King Henry
The Eighth.
Great grandfather of Elizabeth.
Yes, it's the same lineage.
Okay.
But there's a story there how Elizabeth became into power,
Yeah,
how
of
she's
course,
not,
yeah.
you know.
Yeah. They were not the right. Okay.
Exactly, they were not the right hairs.
It's because of pussy. Go on.
No, and the story of reptarians pia iko hapo mingi sana. Story for another day.
Okay.
Now, as the Romans, the Romans, the Italians, the Rome created the Roman Catholic, the Church of England. King Henry VIII wanted to divorce his wife. And their religion was coming from Rome. Remember, it was the center of Christianity because they decided to use Christianity as their new strategy to conquer the world. They had to change the strategy. They realized now we have to colonize people mentally and spiritually. It's all about taxes and everything. That's how kingdoms are built. Kingdoms are built by slaves. All these structures you see today are meant to create slaves. Okay? It's only the kingdom of God that is built by sons, free men. God has to set you free for you to build his kingdom. And that's why he says to Moses, go tell Pharaoh, let my people go, that they may worship me, because I cannot be worshipped by slaves. It's the same message with Yeshua. Whom the Son sets free, is free indeed. Because the kingdom of God is about freedom. And so for Africa to build the kingdom of God and the structures of God that like we're supposed to build, we have to be free. And that this is where the 400 years are coming to an end, which they have come to an end. Now, so Henry VIII wanted to divorce his wife and marry another wife. But the Pope in Rome says that is against Christianity. He said, okay. And I'm a king. You're just a Pope. I'm starting the Church of England.
And that's why
they split.
And that's why no royal family anakubalika kwa Catholic.
Exactly.
Makes
Get
sense.
Makes sense.
Actually, hawapendangi Catholics, those people.
Exactly. In fact, so much bloody war started from there. And so he divorces the wife, marries the wife he wanted, and says, we are no longer Catholics. We do not take orders from your popes in Rome. We shall create our structures of religion in England.
I think wao ndo walikuwa wanaitwa the Templars basi. Ama?
The
Templars.
The Roman Catholic.
No, the England, the ones from England.
The Protestants, because they protested from Catholic.
Yes.
And so they created
so hapo ndo Protestants imetoka?
Exactly. Because they
perfect.
created now their Church of England. They created their structures. In the Catholic hierarchy of power, It is the popes
Okay.
and fathers and all the way down there. Now, the Church of England created their structures. It is the archbishop, bishop, who takes the orders from the queen or the king. That's why the Church of England, what now in Africa we call it has come down splitting to PCEA churches, Church of Scotland, because the same strategy that was used there is the same strategy. Rebellion is rebellion when it starts there. So PCA, the Church of Scotland, and England, the Anglican Church, it was all about rebellion. Oh, you did that because the king, because the Pope could not allow you to do this. And as we want to do things, so the same strategy we use, we rebel.
Makes sense.
Una get, eh? So the so the Church of England create a structure of bishops and archbishops, a new form of religion, just like the Catholics did it. Now, there is a group of Europeans who also created a religion called Zionism. They believed that they were the true lineage of
The Hebrews.
no. In fact,
No, go on.
they said we are the children of God.
Of God, yeah.
Because when Jesus came, there is now no Hebrew, no Samaritan, before God, so we became one. So they became obsessed with the religion of Zionism, which is nowhere in the Bible. There is no tribe or a people called Zionists in the Bible. And they said the Torah is their book. Remember, these are Romans. The strategy of stealing people's history has been in their DNA. They do not create the pattern repeat itself again. Is it making sense?
Yeah, it does.
So they steal the story of Hebrews and say this is our story.
And that's why walikuwa na bomb hizo libraries Gaza.
Exactly.
Same thing na vile walifanya ile.
Hata even this everywhere the Europeans have gone, whether they call themselves the British or whatever, one of the things they do is make sure you do not have history to remind you who you are. Some of the structures, magnificent structures that were created by ancient people, the first thing walikuwa wanang'oa ni mapua. Umeona so many monuments hazina mapua? Because the nose does not lie.
Yeah. Jeez. You're right, bro. You're right.
You get?
Yeah.
So these Zionists, they create a religion. So this European Union steal the history of Hebrews and say we are Hebrews. And they call themselves Zionists. And they create a nation called Israel in Palestine. The original people of Palestine have always been there for the longest time possible. Actually, these are people who can help us trace history.
Jesus
Same
was a
position.
Palestinian. Jesus was a Palestinian.
Probably he.
Because alikuwa kwa hiyo location.
Even in Africa, that's a story for another day.
So
Let's
walikuwa
finish
wanajiita
this
the
story.
Philistines.
The Philistines, he was not a Philistine. Jesus was not a Philistine.
No, the area was a Philistine.
Yes, it was a Philistine, which has always been there. These are guys who have been at war with the Hebrews for the longest time. But the Hebrews were not known for settling in one place. Because God hates physicalities. Because they become idol worship. And that's why even today, no one can be able to trace the Ark of the Covenant. If we are worshipping a fake people called Zionists, for lying to the world that they are the true children of God, what would happen if the Ark of Covenant was physical? The entire world will come to an end because of that. Because God is a spirit. And those who worship him must worship him in truth and in spirit. So he takes away anything tangible that can be directly associated with him because he's a spirit. So for you to connect with God, to understand the things of God, you have to be aligned with his spirit so that you do not need a human teacher to teach you the things of God. Are you getting me?
I do get you, bro.
And that's why he said, when Moses
Not only
died,
am I getting you, bro, umeenda excess. I'm getting you. Go on.
When Moses died, nobody knows where God buried him because people would have turned his body into an idol and they would have worshipped him. It's the same thing with the Ark of the Covenant. It's the same thing with the actual land for the Israelites. That's why there is a bone of contention today. How can Philistine and their land, which has always been there for thousands of years, say that that these Zionists, that is their land. It can't be. So with God is about spirit. You have to understand who you are in the lineage of God through spirit, not anything tangible. And that's why God has promised that in the last days, he's going to pour his spirit on all flesh. Not Christians. That's why I tell Christians, God is not a Christian God. And you and the Zionists behave the same. You think you own God. God is a God of humanity. Everybody. And that's why he has promised in the last days, he's going to pour out his spirit on all flesh. They will dream dreams. These dreams is to remind them of who they are. They will prophesy. They will speak things. And then what does he say? It's in the book of Jeremiah and Hebrews, word to word, that in those days, no man will teach his neighbor God. Why? For he will pour out his spirit on all flesh, and he's going to write his laws in their hearts and in their minds. Whew. You remember the Hebrew boy who knew the laws of God even before Moses?
Yep.
That's where we are going.
Where? Dante, umesikia your story? Now, took 1 hour 40. We have like just 15 minutes before the cameras zenyewe zishut. That's how tumeongea.
All right.
Bro, with all this knowledge uko nayo, bro, I have really connected. Kuna vitu zingine yani umenifungua macho and I'm like, I didn't look at it. Na umeona hizo aha moments hapa.
Yeah.
Mbona we ni Dwanzi?
Sorry?
Mbona we ni Dwanzi? Dwanzi ni watu naitanga ma flat earther, sorry. You know my community name, like, let's talk. This last pivotal point ya conversation. Just, I want to understand your perspective.
On flat earth.
On why you think the earth is flat.
Yes, the earth is flat. One. If let's say the
and earth. Let's watch kindly a disclaimer. Tutoe religion out of this.
Yes. This is common sense. Actually, this is common sense.
Okay, let's work with that.
So, when we say the world is a globe, are we on top of the world, at the center of the world, or below the earth?
Okay.
Where exactly are we? If you want to know the level, any level, follow the waters.
Okay.
The sea, the waters, yote inakuanga level moja. These are this glass is
a glass
round here,
yeah.
But what shape has it taken here?
It's flat.
It's flat. So if the earth can be flat, it's where we live. So we live on a flat surface. If there is anything global about it, it is the firmament that conceals the human beings and every activity. That can be the only thing that makes it global, the firmament. But where we live and everything is flat, we live on a flat earth. It's a flat earth.
Okay.
Follow the water. This. Let me ask you, bro. If the earth is, let's say we follow the water and the earth is global, at what point do we see the water taking the shape of the corner of the earth?
The curvature, you mean?
Exactly. Is there anything like that in the world today?
Okay, can I respond to that?
Yes.
So, vile umesema, let's take this as the example. It takes the shape of the glass. Water takes the shape of anything.
Anything, yes.
Umesikia chupa Fanta? Okay. What if we were to design this glass like a soccer ball, and we put water inside? Would that water take the shape of the soccer ball?
It will on the edge.
No problem. Good. You're getting me.
On the edge.
It's going to.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
Okay. So when it comes to story ya curvature, and a lot of flat earthers watajaribu kupinga hii. And I remember tukiwa kwa hiyo room ingine nilikwambia I have spoken to theologians more than I have spoken to even sheikhs.
Yes, you say that.
It's the nature of me actually going to professors ama to expertise.
I like
kuambia ni aje, just show me this. I've heard what's out there, but you give me your opinion. Guess who I talked to? People who work in the Navy. Wako huko in the oceans a lot of time.
Yeah.
And I told them, brother, I've never been there. I've seen this story. Okay, it's something that I grew up on. The fact that unaona ship ikienda kama imepotea. I learned that in school, but I'm willing kuweka emotions aside. Nikaeko fence. Tell me what's up.
That's called illusions.
No problem. Let me tell you what he told me.
I like that, huh?
Let me tell you what he told me. He said, bro, when you're approximately 100 what's it called, 100 kilometers away from any landmass, that's when you can actually see it. Like ukiwa huko katikati, voyages, pali sasa hizo maships zinapitia.
Yeah.
And if you look corners, you can actually tell, like, yo, you can see. Because even there's some ships zinakuja in rescue, haziezi onekana within like 50 meters. Lazima zikam because of that curvature. You see? That's what he told me. And I was like, okay, fine, no problem, haina shida. Let me talk to another person mwenye amekuwa at least through military.
Yeah.
Of which my uncles wamekuwa through hizo military operations, blah blah blah. Talk to them as well. Wanasema past a certain point, however much you zoom, because wao wako na hizo telescopes and everything, they see the waters, binoculars, and they have the binoculars ya kuona short distances, and now they have those one-eyed telescopes ya kuona farther. They can even see, I guess, flat earthers wanaletanga that concept ya Nikon, that camera, Nikon P something that inaweza zoom na nini, but you're forgetting the aspect of the focal length ya camera na nini.
You also remember there's those lenses that look
fish eye.
Yeah, fish eye, yeah.
Yeah, inaitwa fish eye. So story ya camera kwanza tuitoe, but the lens ya nini haiwezi danganya ile ya kuzoom.
Yeah.
It gives you accurate information. So apparently, vile unasema water cannot lie.
Water can never lie.
So here, how can you dispute your perspective? I mean, your point here that it's no longer about a perspective. This is actually physics that past 100 kilometers from any landmass, however much you zoom, utablokiwa na maji. You can actually see, you can't see the land because iko on the other end.
What happens if you get to that point? Does it become flat, or does it continue taking the shape that was on the lenses when you get to that point?
Okay, because
let's say the shape is changing at 100 kilometers from where you are. Remember, you can get to the 100 kilometers point. What happens when you get there? The same thing will happen to another 100 kilometers, but you will be standing on a flat surface.
Yes, we agree on that.
Okay?
Yes.
Another illustration. What is the size of a plane when you're down here and when you get to the close to a plane?
It becomes bigger.
It becomes bigger. It is the same thing. When you're down here and an airplane is 30,000 kilometers above sea level, it's small. But in real sense, is it small?
No, it's big.
When you get there, you see it doesn't change in size because this is the actual size.
But here, here bro, we are talking about water. Vile umesema tu, unachiki flat surface.
Yes.
Si inafaa kuwa constant.
Yes, constant.
So the thing is, if a flat surface is constant and if water is taking the shape of a flat surface, even if I believe ukikuwa like 500 kilometers away, bado unaweza observe your straight line because it's straight. Are you getting where I'm going?
Which doesn't make sense because of so many factors.
Like?
Size, your size.
But the thing is, we are on a flat surface.
Yes.
So even if I am 500 kilometers away from any land mass and water is taking the shape of that flat surface, hakuna kitu ingekuwa imeni block. Meaning, hiyo ship ikitoka, I can actually see it with a telescope. Not only can I see it with a telescope, 500 kilometers away from any landmass, I can observe that telescope na nione land ndo ile. But that cannot happen until you pass a certain space ya curvature. Ndio sasa unaweza ona ndo ile land, you can see it. And actually, from what they tell me, inaanza kuonekana kidogo. From your radar, you can see... So
according to them, is the earth flat ama it's globe?
Okay, I've talked to pilots. Pilots wanasema... hakuna story kama the earth being flat because umesikia ile concept ya ndege kwenda hivi watu hawajui the atmosphere is big. Pande ya firmament, I agree with you. Possibly I don't call it a firmament, but I agree the fact that hatuwezi toka earth whatsoever case because earth's atmosphere stretches all the way to the exosphere, and the exosphere is so big that the moon iko ndani ya hapo nakubaliana.
In agreement here.
You see? However, if you are dealing with observations, vitu za macho vile as you put it, how can the phases of the moon change? Because tunaonanga the phases of the moon is the shadow casted on earth. Moon haitoangi nini yake. So kuna the aspect of show me
first bro right now I'm in the process of decolonizing any information that NASA has ever put there.
Same as me, bro.
Any information, I'm doing my own researches. Because I've realized we have been living a lie all this time. And remember, I've told you, we are dealing with people who have mastered the art of deceit. Deceit is the corruption that is the spiritual corruption.
First of all, can I
it is the mental
there? Bro, history of flat earth staki itoke. Tuko na 10 minutes before these cameras go out.
Yes.
I don't know, schedule yako iko aje. Can we at least charge the cameras for 20 more minutes?
No, I need to rush somewhere, bro.
Promise me a part 2 then.
I will.
Flat earth peke yake.
Yes.
When are you free? No, hii hata kama ni kesho, bro, nina kama.
Let's talk about next week. Let me see.
Because nataka nitoe hii content yako the moment inafuatana na hiyo flat earth.
Okay.
Sitaki kuiajilia.
Okay. So today is on
5th.
Today is on 5th. So can we do another one on when is 8th? 8th. I'll have something on this side. I have something at Garden Estate. So I can combine that. When is 8th is on Tuesday. Can we do that on Tuesday?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Tuesday niko na meeting mahali.
Uko na meeting?
Tuesday niko na meeting mahali. Can we push it to Wednesday?
In fact, 10th is a holiday.
Tuesday tunaongelelea?
Thursday. Like
perfect.
Is a holiday.
No problem. Let's do it on Thursday.
Do it on Thursday.
Thursday, let's do it.
Yes. Let me decolonize NASA. Because I'm in the process
So,
of questioning them right now.
Enda kuchukua as much info. Decolonize mpaka Thursday. Tupatane hapo.
Haya.
Thank you for coming, bro. Shukran sana. Imekuwa conversation nyingine kali sana. Hakuna, si nilikwambia itapita haraka hiyo time.
Maze.
Thank you. Dante.